Hi, ooh, let me just adjust that. This is Dawn Petalino, your spiritual transformational coach, and welcome to Miracle Monday. And Miracle Monday is where I just remind you of various truths, specifically from A Course in Miracles and, of course, of love, if those resonate with you, to remind us of these particular truths so we can go about in our day being more of who we actually are, feeling more at home within our bodies, more grounded in this planet, and more effective and fulfilled in our lives. So today's Miracle Monday truth is about what to do in the next moment. A lot of times we spin our wheels a lot about how to handle something, trying to figure out our next move, trying to figure out what the right answer is. A lot of time up here, right? That we forget this very important truth that we are now coming into being in a way that we're not trying to figure things out. You know, the Course of Love tells us that you have to turn to your heart for the proof, which means that we really are receiving information literally from our heart. Our heart connects us to that quantum field, connects us to that universal natural field of intelligence, whether you call that God, the universe. And we have to go there if we really want to be miracle workers in this world. And one of the things A Course of Love says is you're afraid of being a miracle worker because you're afraid you won't know what to do. And it's just like we have to be present so we can hear what our heart's saying. If I'm all up here, I'm probably hearing more of my fears than actually what my heart's saying. So as the Course of Love says, you know, you wonder whether you should pray for specific outcomes or pray for God's will, but this uncertainty will leave you as you become receptive to the present moment. So as we become willing to stay present, and the present really means that we have got to suspend judgment. The present moment doesn't judge because the heart doesn't judge. And so if you really want to know what the proper response to anything is, we've got to stay here. Now, I know for myself, I can be in meditation, I can feel totally, content and peaceful and very present and very loving. And then I can go in the shower and start thinking about something and thinking about maybe, if that person cancels again, or if that person calls, I wonder if I'll be able to get that thing exchanged. If I start going into these little scenarios, which I hope I'm not the only one there, I have to pull myself in. The first thing you have to do is become aware when you've lost the present moment. Become aware when you've gotten into your head, whether that is with a future fear of outcome. Because the truth is, I had just something silly like this elliptical machine was squeaking and squealing, and I was wondering, will that person be able to come out and fix it? I just got it changed over, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just like going through all these different scenarios, and I had to stop myself and say, what do you know right now? Because that's all you know right now. And no matter how much you try to predict and figure out, all you've got is what you know right now. So you're going to have to wait for more information. And just pulling myself back into the present. So we have to be aware when we've left the present. And if I'm really caught in some worry or fear, I take a deep breath and I just really focus on it moving into my body. And I really focus on the sounds around me. I focus on my feet. I really try to bring myself back into this present moment. And then the third thing we do is when we come back to that present moment, we actually begin to have an awareness of what the Course of Love calls the relationship. You are in relationship with everything, with another person, with a situation, and that relationship is the higher consciousness. Just you and me, we could come together as two separate selves and not get anywhere. But if we come together and we leave a space open and an awareness open for what wants to unfold, we allow a deeper listening. We're not trying to figure it out. We're trying to listen. What does this moment call for? I'm going to suspend my judgment and wait and just see, check in with my heart, what is this moment calling for? Now you'll notice we do this naturally when we're not caught up in our heads. For instance, let's say you're just walking along in the bookstore somewhere and somebody drops something, without thinking about it, we'll just rush over and be like, oh, let me help you pick that up. We didn't sit there and plan, if that person drops it, I'm going to go pick it up. We don't think about that. We just go and do it naturally, because that's the natural response in the present moment. So what we're practicing here, and it is a practice, is constantly pulling ourselves back to the present and trusting. And this is what the Course of Love says, that the only thing that's you're unwilling right now is, it says, are you willing? Are you willing to trust? Are you willing to trust God? Are you willing to trust your capital S self? And I really have to pull myself back and say, if I stay present, and if I suspend my judgment, and if I am in awareness, and remember, awareness pulls me out of that limbic brain and puts me back into the prefrontal cortex where I can monitor things, make choices, problem solve. So as soon as I pull myself out of the head and just go into this, I'm just noticing place of awareness, that can activate our prefrontal cortex and kind of distance ourselves from whatever's going on. Even if you're having a difficult argument with somebody and you're noticing your feelings about it, and you're noticing, your struggle inside, as soon as you start noticing, you've disengaged enough to take a breath and to actively wait for the response. What is the heart calling to do? Now, I actually like to envision like an inner eye going down to my heart and waiting for an answer. Sometimes it's not to do anything. Sometimes it's just to be compassionate. Sometimes it's just get on with your day. But to see how the heart responds is the practice. And that is how miracles happen in this world. So if you want to be a miracle worker, then we've got to connect. It says your heart is your proof. It is where the knowing will occur. So it says all that confusion, all that uncertainty will end as soon as you are willing to stay in the present moment. So that is your practice for today, to pull yourself back when you see that you're jumping into the future, when you see you're trying to create scenarios about what so-and-so might do based on the past actions they've done. Pull yourself back and breathe and just give yourself a pause and see what the heart is calling you to do. And you may be surprised, because that is how your higher consciousness works through you to create miracles. I hope you have a miraculous Monday. If you'd like to find out more or have more access to various resources and blogs and books and all kinds of guided meditations, then go to www.dawnpetalino.com. Sign up for my newsletter. There's a bunch of stuff that you get for free there. And I look forward to seeing you next week. I hope you have a miraculous Monday, and bye for now.